next up, we have Deborah Kleinsmith from the nursing department, and her topic is interactive online discussions for nursing students.
Thank you. Good morning, I'm Deborah Kleinsmith. I'm an associate lecturer in the Faculty of Community and Health Sciences, Department of the School of Nursing, currently situated at Belleville campus. I started with lecturing in 2018. I was one of the lecturers that was very fortunate before the lockdown to go for training with Norina, how to upload my lesson plans on iKamva. I really want to say thank you very much to the CIECT team, especially Norina, for constant support and guidance to creating an online environment for the first-year nursing students. As part of my introduction, I've looked at, there are so many different definitions of blended learning, but what for me is applicable is what I've extracted from online is that learning combines face-to-face teaching and online instruction ideally with leveraging the strength of each. Just to give a little bit of a background, during the COVID lockdown, I was still teaching the phase-out nursing module of the old R4-5 program in 2020. And the current 174 program commenced in 2021, and that were purely online. So I created an interactive online environment for the extended second-year program, which is ECP2. They are still first-year nursing students for these modules. So the learning materials were structured via the lessons eTool and iKamva. Lecture presentation, discussions, and assessment activities were created and required students to engage in an interactive manner. Thank you, Norina. Can you just move up? So this is basically an example that I presented just to show how I have structured my lesson plans. So on iKamva, this is an integrated model. So it consists of a clinical and a theoretical component. I have most lecturers use weekly content if indicated, but I usually use the topics on the left. I will do in my lesson plans, and I will indicate what is week 1 and what is the topic. I've also included a checklist that's for the students, just to ensure that they have covered all aspects of the lesson plans. Thank you, Norina. Can you move on? Secondly, also in some presentations, I would lesson plans. I would include a PowerPoint presentation and also narrated power presentations. And it is also uploaded under the resources so that students can take their time to refer back to the resources if they had maybe, for instance, data problems or could not engage due to technical difficulties. Part of also of the lesson plan, I included individual activities for the students. They have tutorial activities. We include also reflection and discussion activities. And then also what is required from the nursing students is they have to do on a constant basis a reflection on the topics covered. Thank you, Norina. Can you move on? So this is basically an example of how the discussion forums are being implemented with all the topics. The students get time to engage in the discussion forums. They can submit their answers according to the tutorial activities that was posted. I give them a set time. I am on the discussion forums with them just to have an overview of our understanding, and then also to give them some feedback if they are still on the right track. We also, sorry, Norina, just move back to, yes. We also then make use of the chat rooms. And then what we also do, we link libraries searches on the lesson plans and YouTube video links for them as reference. Thank you, Narina. Yes, then I made use of the quizzes, tests and quizzes, also on iKamva. Where I was assisted with Norena if I sometimes have difficulties in opening and the test, but with only one submission allowed for the students to complete their theories and test. And then, as you can see at the left, I have also locked some of the content, especially with this year where the blended learning is introduced, because I have face-to-face sessions at the moment. Thank you, Norina. You can move on. Okay. We also use the iKamva for our assignments, where they can submit their e-journals or any other form of assignments. It has an open and a due date where students can upload any form of assignments that they need to submit. No. Okay, so when the academic year commenced this year on 14 February, blended learning was introduced that combines face-to-face teaching and online instruction. Currently have a cohort of 54 students. I use 2 venues, and I have 2 different time periods where I do face-to-face teaching. The students find it very productive, because they have then an opportunity to ask questions, and then obviously the content, more clarification is being presented, or they can have more clarification on the content if needed. For the clinical NRS 162, which is the clinical component of the module, I have also 2 groups. That's because of the hard mandate that's now lifted. In the beginning, I had 2 groups that I split into 2. Then they alternate every week. So the group that does not attend the skills lab receives an online activity for hours, which is ideal. So, and I also are we are fortunate to have a School of Nursing skills laboratory site. On the site, there are different year levels. There are activities, there are videos, there are activities that includes MCQs, calculations. So we can basically refer our students to the school, to the site. Students can view and practice and do the necessary activities on that site. One big challenge for me is how the users can successfully use the technology. We do have students that had to adapt from high school to university, and ensuring that they commit to the learning. And we also need to consider the characteristics, the background, and how they encounter technology. I had in the beginning also a session with the digital academic literacy for students just to reflect back, and we got information or statistics back from them just to view where's the gaps and what students identifies what the students still need in regards with technology. We do identify that learners are important partners in our learning process, and therefore their backgrounds, as mentioned, the characteristics affects their ability to effectively carry on with learning and being in blended learning. Also, our design tools has an effect. also on many other factors like how we design in our features and specifically our learning outcomes, because that is basically what we need to focus on, that we look at our learning outcomes. Do our design of our lesson plans cover our learning outcomes? And then the other factor is that research has shows that the failure of learners to continue their online education in some cases have been due to family supports and is an increase of workload because the students also have these service modules that is online. Currently, I have a tutor for the NRS 162 module. She is added onto the eKamva site. She gives assistance via the WhatsApp group, and she also gives assistance for students with little knowledge of technology or struggling with online activities, and assistance from CICT. This has improved our retention. Students are very satisfied with the combination of the online and face-to-face. It gives them also ample time, especially if they have data and technological problems. They can refer back to the resources, and all resources are uploaded on eKamva resources when I have completed my face-to-face sessions. Thank you, and that's all from me. Hope that was beneficial. Thank you, Lorena.
Thank you so much, Deborah, for that great presentation.